What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Early signing day is less than 2 weeks away. Tennessee looking to tie a bow on the class of 2025. You can see there the updated on-3 industry rankings. Tennessee coming in ninth. That's a top 10 class. I think this is a solid foundation. I like the talent that Josh Heupel has recruited in this class, and I get the argument, Boogie, it's not good enough. It's not high enough. You may be ninth in the country, but that means you're sixth in the SEC behind Georgia, Alabama, Texas, Auburn, LSU. So Tennessee comes in sixth in the SEC, but I still like the evaluations of this coaching staff. I like the guys that they have recruited. We've had a lot of them roll through this channel, and this class headlined by five-star offensive tackle David Sanders Jr. You've got a dozen guys ranked in the on 300, Marion Dye, Travis Smith, Deshaun Brame, Shady Hayward, George McIntyre. Do you trust Josh Heupel's evaluation of George McIntyre, or do you believe that On3 and 247 Sports and these ranking systems got it right? I love when George McIntyre went to Twitter and his ranking dropped off, and he said, apparently, I don't throw enough in shorts and a T-shirt. I think George McIntyre is going to be just fine. But Tennessee looks to close out this class of 2025. Got a big recruiting weekend coming up this weekend for the UTEP game. A lot of guys that are currently committed in town, like four-star linebacker Christian Gass is going to be on campus. Now, he committed to Tennessee over Georgia back in July. But when you're in these big boy recruiting battles, you have to recruit all the way to the end. So it will be good if they can get Gass back in town. Now, Volquest said that he's playing a playoff game several hours away from home tonight. Obviously, an early kickoff tomorrow. So hopefully they get Christian Gass back in town. Four-star edge Jaden Lofton's going to be here. Talked to his Uncle Kenny yesterday. Had a couple of text messages back and forth. Said rehab is going well for Jaden. Everything is on track. I know he's excited to get back in town. I know his family is excited to get in town. Trey Poteet, Rad Jackson, plus a ton of guys in the class of 2026 and also 2027 will be in town as well. But as we look at this class of 25 and trying to tie a bow on it, there are a couple of prospects that Tennessee is really in pursuit of. We'll start with three-star running back Dwayne Morris, a guy that Coach Rice is pretty high on. We talked about him a week or so ago. He likes his shiftiness, his explosiveness, his speed, big play capability. You can see there the profile on the screen. He's a three-star running back, 5'10", 180 pounds, out of Murfreesboro, Tennessee. He set to take it official this weekend. The Vols were late to offer here. They were late to offer. He committed to USC back in April. In Tennessee, he's been on campus 3 times prior, but Tennessee really struggled to get him on campus throughout the summer when recruiting is really hot and heavy. He never did make that commitment. Said he was going to be in town a couple of times. Never did happen, but they did get him in town for the Kentucky game. Now he's going to come back, set to officially visit this weekend. Again, according to Volquest, the Vols have made up a ton of ground, and they are looking to close it out for the three-star running back this weekend. Now, there is a big-time headliner. I saw this on Twitter. This is why I had to make the video. Returning to Knoxville, returning to Rocky Top this weekend. We're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. But as always, I need you guys to do me a favor and smash the thumbs up just below this video. It is quick, it is free, and it is easy. It helps the channel, and I would greatly appreciate it. If you're new to the Talkin VAWLS Network, welcome. We're not experts here. We're not insiders. We're not reporters, media, journalists. What we are is fans. We react. We get emotional. We overreact sometimes. This channel is all about being a fan. If you like what we do, make sure you subscribe and click that bell for notifications. You won't miss out when we go live or when we drop a video. Tomorrow, we're going to be live an hour before kickoff for our tailgate fan call-in show. Then we'll be live immediately following the game for the post-game show as well. Day after video coming bright and early on Sunday morning, and then a fan call-in show Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time as well. So subscribe, click the bell for notifications, all that good stuff. We would greatly appreciate it. But let's get on to the news. This was a big one, man, and I just made a video on Isaiah Campbell recently, but you can see there 4-star defensive lineman Steve Wiltfong tweets out, Tennessee and North Carolina are battling for On3's number 4 defensive lineman Isaiah Campbell, and fresh off of an official visit to Chapel Hill, the Blue Chipper returns to Knoxville this weekend. This is absolutely huge for Tennessee. He is a priority for Josh Heupel. He is a priority for Tim Banks, for Rodney Garner, Four-star defensive lineman, 6'3", 265 out of Durham, North Carolina. Again, I just talked about him recently, but if you missed that video, I'm going to run through a quick scouting report, and then we're going to talk about how big this is for Tennessee. Said he's a multiple defensive lineman that can be deployed in a variety of different ways at the next level in both odd and even fronts. He's got versatility. So size hasn't been third-party verified in over a year, but looks to be north of 6'3", with room to eventually carry 285 or more. Produced in a big way as a junior, had 110 tackles and 16 sacks, used active hands to get off blocks, adequate get off at this stage, has the burst to dart laterally and make stops while in pursuit. Says he understands how to find leverage, but isn't the most consistent edge setter and is likely going to need some technical refinement before he's ready to be a full-time contributor on Saturdays. That's an interesting note. He's going to need some development. We'll talk about that here in just a moment. Says overall should be viewed as a scheme versatile point of attack defender that can slow down the run and add some value as a pass rusher. Could take a major step forward after a developmental year or two in college strength program. Sunday upside if he can keep progressing. So again, this is a big-time prospect. I'll switch over and let you guys take a look at the profile from On3. Again, 4-star prospect, top 50 according to the On3 industry ranking. So a guy that could probably bump Tennessee up a spot or two if he does pull the trigger and commit. Now, he was committed to Clemson back in January, which you guys know the story of that. That leads to no more visits. Dabo Swinney says if you commit to Clemson, you're not taking visits elsewhere. But the lines of communication with Tennessee stayed open. He decommits on September the 24th, and there was a lot of buzz. As soon as that decommitment came out, there was a lot of buzz around Tennessee, but also around the home state program, North Carolina. That's something else we're going to talk about in just a second. He took his official visit to Tennessee back on October the 19th, the win over Alabama. The cigar smoke fills the sky, an electric environment that a lot of kids were in town to witness. This was a quote from his dad coming off of that visit. Says, I think he was able to go there in person and really get to see and make sure and talk to all the coaches in depth, really be in that environment, see the university more in depth, went for a game before, but this time really talk with everyone and understand the vision they have and get to know the more ins and outs and see the supportive programs they offer. His dad goes on to say, that gave us a better idea about the overall program. Obviously, got to see a really good game and be a part of that experience and really take it in. Isaiah is talking to a few other schools, not really to the same amount or depth as Tennessee. So again, he's talking to other schools, but not to the same depth that he's talking to Tennessee. He says he still has communication with Clemson. That's really what's on the board. So that's coming off the visit to Knoxville for the win over Alabama. He's not really talking about North Carolina. It's all Tennessee, and Clemson talks to him as well. So there was a lot of buzz, a lot of momentum around the Vols at that point, even some speculation whether or not Isaiah Campbell would take that official visit to North Carolina. But he did take that trip. Anna Adams actually put in a crystal ball prediction for North Carolina to land Campbell after he took that official last weekend. So that is why it is huge for Tennessee to get another shot, the last shot, the final shot, why he's going to be in town this weekend. So it's absolutely huge. This is what his dad had to say about the visit coming up this weekend. Said he's going back to Tennessee. There are some things he wants to ask, get questions answered. Honestly, as a dad, I'm trying to be supportive in this process. I don't think he's quite made his mind up, and it's even between the two options, Tennessee and North Carolina. So here we are. Obviously, they've been having really good defensive line play. We know Coach Rodney Garner has been a staple in the defensive line collegiate space and definitely built a name and developed a lot of players. Also, Tennessee is a very competitive program, and they're playing at a really high level, and defensively, they've done a great job as well. All of those factors are coming into play. Now, VolQuest put out an update this morning. What they had to say about Isaiah Campbell was if it's development in football, it's the Vols. If it's staying close to home and academics, it's North Carolina. So again, we go back to that scouting report, a guy that needs some time to develop. Well, there's no better defensive line coach in the country for development and evaluation than Coach Rodney Garner. Knoxville is home. Tennessee is home. It is huge, absolutely huge, to get another shot at Isaiah Campbell this weekend because, again, coming off the trip to North Carolina, it felt like the momentum kind of shifted. So we will see where this goes. Again, wanted to jump back on here and make a video and talk about some of the names that would be in town, but also more specifically Isaiah Campbell. If you missed the video this morning, go back and give it a watch. Coach Jay, Coach Rice put a lot of time, effort, and energy into those breakdowns. I get it. It's UTEP Vols by 90. But go check out what those guys had to say about the game tomorrow, the keys to the game, what UTEP does offensively, defensively. I think you'll enjoy that. If you missed it, I'll also link it. It'll be right here. It'll be right here in just a second. Also, smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would greatly appreciate it. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise, bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. And also shout out to the members of the channel. Think about hitting that join button. You can support what we do around here for just $1 per month. Keep those memberships up to date throughout the course of the offseason. Cannot do this without your support, particularly as we roll into the offseason and go into more of a recruiting channel. But that is going to do that for this one. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Jump in the comment section, even if you just attack it with a GBO, because this is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.